Hey, what's going on? It's the DeadEndRoad Show, episode 27. I noticed that we didn't... I guess it's not a big deal, but like whenever we hit the 25th, it didn't really remark upon it.
Well, this one's significant too. Now, this podcast, episode 27, it's the same age as us now.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
That's how that works, right?
Yeah. You know that whole thing about how like all like the rock stars that died at 27?
Mm-hmm.
Like Kurt Cobain and was it, I think Jimi Hendrix too, like all those guys.
We're running out of time to join that prestigious
I know.
club.
Got like a couple months in my case. Yeah. You're closer. Yeah.
I'm less than a month, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how things go.
Yeah, what's gonna happen is that the podcast is gonna blow up in a month, and then one of us is gonna bite it.
Well, that's how like things become like artists. Well, not that we're artists, but
You don't consider this art?
Sure. All right. For the sake of what I'm going to say, sure, this is art. But like artists, they tend to become more popular after they die.
That's true. Yeah.
So okay. I think one of us, just for the sake of the show.
All right. I'll go stand in front of a bus. Okay. All right, let's get into some shit because I think I crammed every segment we've ever done into one episode. So
terrific.
This will be a good primer for any new listeners. Let's open with a little dead wrong. This is really nothing, but I'll do it anyway.
It's false. No way. Not this time. We created it.
Okay. So episode
I'm glad that's getting shorter and shorter every week.
I think it was the same time I did it last time. So episode 23, I named the podcast Dear Kevin Spacey. And that was probably not the best move because that's our lowest listenership yet on an episode. And it really kept people away. And I don't blame them, but I think it was a good episode, so I really fucked up on that one, so I'm considering that
it's a good wrong title when you know the reference. It's a good title.
I know.
I'm gonna back you up on that one.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like, these are talking about Kevin Spacey. Like, I don't want to listen to that.
Maybe your SEO could use a bit of
I really, and I even tweeted before I did it. I was like, how bad is Kevin Spacey's SEO? And I still went for it. But yeah, so now I know for the future not to put any sex pests in the title of the episode.
As a rule of thumb, that's not a bad one.
Yeah. So yeah. Speaking of sex pests, let's move into Dating is Dead. This will be a shorter one because I haven't had the time to really go trolling the dating sites for some interesting finds.
And when you say trolling, it doesn't mean you're trolling people on the dating sites. You're just looking around.
No, I mean it in the pre-internet. I'm just looking around for things. I'm not like catfishing people. I'm not,
There's no interaction at all.
No, not really. No. I don't even swipe, really. I'm just like browsing. So yeah, let's see what I have. I don't even remember what some of these are because it's been a few weeks.
Are we still doing I don't know how I feel about it, but the swipe left, swipe right thing?
I think we can. I can. I think I do have some. This is after I started looking for all the genders, so I do have some. I'm not going to say because it doesn't really matter, but
sure. We're just going off of like what they have in their bio and stuff.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes. Okay, so this is the first one. This is a Tinder one. So the Tinder ones are usually shorter. But yeah, so RuneScape, stocks, tech, and crypto. I'm a shopaholic, super dominant brat, and I'm super picky. I love taboos. Just moved back to NJ. Okay. Into FLRs and super submissive individuals. Be ready to tribute and serve if you're into submission. Also down for new smoke buddies. Pan. I don't want kids. Rich auntie vibes, though. Recently single, so nothing serious. Anarcho ideals.
So does that mean are they looking for someone with rich auntie vibes, or are they saying that they have rich auntie vibes?
I think they're saying that they have rich auntie vibes. Like they'll be the rich auntie. They don't want the kids, but like, you know, I guess if you're somebody that has siblings or something, or nephew, I don't know, niece nephew kind of thing. Yeah, the sentence, I love taboos, and then there is an M dash, just moved back to New Jersey, is as if that is the ultimate taboo. Yeah, there is something, it really bothers me that they're like, yeah, stock, text, and crypto, and then at the end they're like, anarcho ideals. It's like, what?
Okay, Grimes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what? What are you doing?
Choose a lane.
Yeah, but I just love, like, you're leading with RuneScape. Like,
I mean, that's still really popular, isn't it?
I guess so. I didn't realize.
It seems like it.
It must have had a resurgence. I bet it's some kind of pandemic thing where people were stuck at home and then just sort of going back to childhood shit.
It's like Animal
and realizing that RuneScape is sticking around, you know?
Yeah.
But that's just me guessing.
No, I think that adds up. It's like Animal Crossing. Like that was all I played for a few months.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, and then I had to look up what FLR is.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I don't know either.
Yeah, that is a female-led relationship.
Oh, okay.
So that's sort of like femdom shit.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
That goes in line with the super submissive.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I had to look that up because I had no idea.
So I'm swiping left because I don't deal with crypto.
Yeah. I just the dichotomy of crypto and, like, crypto is like one thing because you could even make the argument that it's like, oh yeah, decentralization, man. So that's like sort of, you could maybe say some kind of anarcho sort of thing.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But then like stocks.
Right.
Stocks, man. Come on. This is just ANCAP shit. But yeah, I would agree. Okay, this next one. Oh, okay. Well, shit. Okay, this is also a Tinder one, and this is a short one. This is funny that these are next to each other, but oncology development is my jam. Crypto is my scam. Proud GME holder. If your Insta is in your bio, I'm gonna follow it. Which is a weird like threat, I would say. That's kind of really creepy, actually. Yeah,
it's not even like I'll follow you back. It's I'm going around looking at bios and just following random people is what it sounds like.
Yeah, not even that, like, it's like I'm gonna look at it. It's I'm going to follow it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, dude. Yeah, it's like, is that really going to impress anybody that you are one of the weird GameStop stock dudes that are still like trying that whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, that ship is kind of sailed, hasn't it?
I thought so.
I don't hear about it anymore.
Yeah, so like you're still doing it?
Guess so.
Yeah, I don't know. And just the outright admittance that crypto is the scam, like, is it like I don't get it.
I'm wondering if we should turn this segment into like a matchmaking segment, because I'm curious about the first two.
That's true.
The first two we've seen here.
That's true. Yeah, and this is Tinder, so they're like they should be within the same area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's very true. I just don't get what people are doing on these things, you know? I don't get it.
What, on the dating apps?
Yeah, like who's gonna see crypto is my scam and be like, yeah, man, I think that is hot as shit.
Yeah, like I just don't see a lot of these things as because like your bio is supposed to be like your defining characteristics, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I just like maybe that's like an interesting like that's a hobby basically. It's something that you would maybe talk about on a date, but it's not like you don't put that in your bio and lead with it as like part of your personality.
And then we also know that part of his personality is I'm going to follow every Instagram I see.
Yeah.
What is that? What is that?
I don't know what to take away from that.
It's just creepy. It's creepy.
A little bit.
I can understand, like, if people, you can make the argument that if people are putting their Instagram in the bio, they want people to see it, but that doesn't mean like they want like all these random people to follow. Like, I don't know. It's just weird to me.
Yeah, it's worded strangely. I don't really know what their intention is with that.
Yeah. I don't know. This next one. Okay, this is another one where the person is English isn't their first language, so they've attempted something in English that I just find charming or whatever. I'm feminism from Thailand. I am an introvert. I like to watch movie, music, game. I love art and history. I just really like the phrase, I'm feminism from Thailand.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I really like that.
It could be their name, or they could be like Thailand could be a deeply unfeminist country and they're the only one.
Yeah.
Which I don't that's not the case, but
I just like that phrase. Because I remember this one too, because like that phrase was like in my head for like a few days. I'm feminism from Thailand. But
aside from that, like this is a solid bio here.
It is. They're saying that they're an introvert and some of their hobbies, and then they like art and history. There you go. Mm-hmm. And then so this is an OkCupid one, and OkCupid lets you attach your Instagram, and then it pulls photos in from your Instagram at the bottom. So you don't even need to put like the link to it, like you do on Tinder, and so you can just see some more of their photos if they've attached it at the bottom.
So our last person wouldn't even need to have that disclaimer.
Right. Yeah. And so I could even see, because the way I cropped it, I cropped like the first row of their Instagram photos here, and it's like, oh yeah, they're like at the museum, because there's a photo of them next to a painting and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, I could see what they're about. Yeah, I'd say it's a solid bio, and I like that phrasing. Oh God,
swiping right, by the way.
Yeah, it's a good
Always
one.
Swiping right for feminism.
Yeah, exactly. All right, this one. Okay, I'm gonna have to zoom in. Holy shit, I forgot about this one. This is gonna be another. Remember the Spider-Man, one, that gigantic word salad.
Yes.
All right. A high-value, confident, and extremely passionate woman who's seeking a genuine connection with a mature gentleman. I'm well-cultured, well-traveled, and spontaneous. I enjoy art, pampering myself, traveling, wine pairings, and trying new cuisines. I don't believe in settling for less in life. My favorite food is Italian, and I'm obsessed with anything pertaining to art, galleries, symphonies, and ballet. One of my favorite.
Pause for a second.
Sure.
At this moment, I'm like, this is fine. This is all good.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is a quality bio, and we could just like end it right here.
Yeah.
Continue.
One of my favorite things to do is get a yacht on the weekends, vacay vibes, and enjoy days in the sun with my closest friends. One of my favorite sayings is, quote, "The purpose of life is to live it, to taste experience to the utmost, to reach out eagerly and without fear for newer and richer experience," end quote. Do you share the same interests and passion? I am extremely peculiar on who gets my attention. So men, capitalized, please understand the type of woman I am prior to messaging me, as this will save us both time. I have very high standards and expectations, and I've heard it all, LOL. Messages constantly saying, you're the one, when we both know you aren't. So if you cannot fit the profile that I have up, nor add any value to it, then please don't waste either of our time. I know exactly what it is that I want, ... a husband. I'm not going to choose just any suitor for that role. I want the best of the best man who I know will appreciate me, ... Someone who makes me happy, who makes me so happy to have him that I would choose him every time. That was all one paragraph.
Man,
Okay.
Please don't waste our time, she says.
Yeah. So I got the whole profile here because it was so much. Okay, so under their current goal, they put, my current goal right now is to prepare to launch my business by next month, homeowner by next year, get my dream car, and possibly marry you. And then there's a kissy face emoji. I'm really good at planning a surprise getaway. And then there's an emoji. I don't really know what that is. Maybe it's a surprised face. Guess what island this was taken on? And then there's no photo or anything there, so that's unfortunate. Then for my golden rule, it says, quote, a girl should be two things, who and what she wants. And then that's apparently a quote from Coco Chanel. I should spend less time at Neiman Marcus or online shopping, but I blame Amazon, LOL. A perfect day, relaxing at the spa on a Sunday with a great book, ... and a glass of champagne, kissy face emoji. The most private thing I'm willing to admit, I'm such a hopeless romantic. And then there's that surprised face emoji. Okay, now here's the what I'm actually looking for prompt. And this is in all caps. Please read below before messaging me asking what I'm seeking. And then there's like 5 exclamation marks. Okay. I'm seeking to build a genuine connection and establish a potential relationship with a mature older gentleman who is honest, kind-hearted, and consistent. A man who knows how to treat a woman such as myself and is very loving. He should be able to recognize and appreciate my values and ambition. He should know that there is more to me than just my outward beauty, and he should find my inward beauty, as well as what I can bring to the table, equally as intriguing. I am only interested in a man who shares similar interests and standards to myself. The man I seek would be considered as a Renaissance man. Typically, he is highly cultured, charismatic, humble, educated, well-traveled, likes the finer things in life, all things such as myself. I like a man who is open-minded for new experience with little to no baggage and who knows what he wants. I'm a bit sassy, so hopefully he can handle that, LOL, and who is confident in everything that he does. Someone who is interested in progressing towards marriage and possibly having children in the near future. Whew.
If you are interested in dating me, please attach a 15,000-word essay explaining exactly why.
It's a lot.
That's a whole lot. I mean, at least this person knows exactly what they want, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good thing. And you know, she's conveying it. She's putting it all out there. So
yeah, it's just unfortunately I don't think she's gonna have much luck.
Yeah.
And it seems like she hasn't had much luck if she feels the need to really hammer this all out. Yeah, it's a lot.
It is a lot. I'd have to swipe left here because I just don't qualify.
No, not even a little bit.
I don't fit the standard, unfortunately.
No. And also, I think she is looking for an old rich man is also kind of what it boils down to. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's like in the subtext, especially when she says a mature older gentleman.
I'm very much neither of those things.
Yeah. Best of luck.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you never know. It's a big world out there.
You never know. Okay. One more. Multiple personalities. Looking for someone into demonolatry. Ascension. Clipoth. Friends only. This is an old account. I look a bit different now. Send me an intro so I see you. Oh God, why is it so hard to find people with same interests? Now.
So this is a profile seeking a friend.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I did swipe right.
Okay.
On this one. I have to admit.
Okay. What was your reasoning?
Because of the demonolatry. And because they said clip off, even though they spelled it wrong. Yeah.
Did you get any like reply?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I haven't been on the site, but I did swipe right.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. I don't think what's on my profile would yeah. But yeah, I did swipe right. It's I just think it's very funny that they put that they're into demonolatry and the negative spirits of the fucking Kabbalah and like the opposite of the Sephiroth, and they're like, oh God, why can't I find people with the same interests?
Well, it sounds like they found at least one person.
Right. That's why I swiped right. It's like, oh, I at least know what you're talking about, even if you spelled it wrong. It's like, okay, I could work with this. Like
you even get the humor, assuming that is humor.
I don't know.
It's hard to tell.
I don't know. That's the thing. But it's like, okay, I could work. That's when you know it's bad out here. Is like, I could work with this.
Yeah.
I can work with this. You idolize demons, and yeah, I could at least talk to you about it. Oh shit!
Boy, this segment takes us to some interesting places.
It does. Yeah. Looking for people in the demonolatry. Yeah. But then it's like, this is an old account. I look a bit different now. It's like, okay, cool. Why can't I find people?
It's really good.
That are into Jewish mysticism and know about Gnostic beliefs.
I thought this app was popular. You should be able to find anybody on there.
Oh shit! I don't care if you spell it wrong. I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. No, you were down from the first moment you saw it.
I was. That's the problem. Oh fuck. So yeah, that was Dating is Dead for this week. Bit of a shorter one.
Was it?
Was it? I mean, normally we have some more. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to go back in because I'm tapped out again.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I squeezed this in like 10 minutes before we started recording, but I did receive another dead letter. It's getting kind of creepy how the spam bots know whatever day we're going to record, even when we move what day we're recording, which is what happened this week.
Yeah, it was up in the air till the very last minute.
Yeah, we moved it at the last second.
But they're on top of their game.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy. I have to like start unplugging microphones or something.
See, we wouldn't have to deal with this if anybody sent stuff in.
That's true. That's
a cry for help, by the way.
Yeah, because for some reason I'm on a mailing list for like UK hospitality.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how I got on there because there was a few weeks ago where I read the thing about how I was invited to that hotel show and convention.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now I got this email about future UK restaurant, pub, bar, and hotel openings, and then in parentheses, not reopening post-lockdown, whatever that means. And it says, hello, if you're looking for data on new restaurants, pubs, hotels, clubs, and bars that will be opening, note not reopening, but new sites. Oh, okay, now I understand.
Yeah, so it's not like they're not coming back. They're
these are new spots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why you need to exclude the other ones, but anyway, keep going.
I suppose if like I was a restaurant critic or something, and I might have already reviewed them or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, this is basically some kind of service that is selling me they'll feed me information on new restaurants opening.
Like, I'm trying to understand why you got it. Like, do you use...
I don't understand.
Is it possible maybe you use a VPN with like a UK address or something?
No, I would never. I would never have any need to like
to do
turn
that,
my VPN
right?
onto the UK, and I don't know why they would have the publishing email.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand it. Like, technically the book is sold in the UK, but like I don't have any direct dealings with the UK.
I shouldn't have you sold a copy in the UK?
If we have, it wouldn't have been direct from us. It would be retail.
Okay.
And I wouldn't necessarily have the direct information.
Gotcha. That was a mean-spirited question. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Because the book is available worldwide. Mm-hmm. And I know for a fact that it is available on UK retailers. Mm-hmm. But I just don't understand. Yeah, this email has been sent to publishing at DeadEndRoad.co as a legitimate interest UK hospitality supplier related email. Like, what? I don't understand why I'm getting these. It's not like I'm getting a ton of them. This is like the second one now. Mm-hmm. It's just very strange.
Yeah, just like industries that have nothing to do even like adjacently to publishing. Like it's just a completely just like out of left field.
Yep. So anyway, that's what came in this morning. Just another quick dead letter. So let's move into this week's horror harvest. Mm-hmm. I did receive some feedback that we might be doing a poor job sort of describing the movies, and it might be hard to follow from there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that.
And this might have been the case with She Dies Tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But the only problem there is that movie didn't really have like a ton of plot to it. I mean,
that's but I do see the point here. We definitely could sort of give an overview. We could do a better job at that for sure. Yeah,
so that's just something I wanted to bring up. So with that said, let's head on in.
So this week we're discussing Cure, directed by Kiyoshi Kurosawa. This is from 1997. I feel like you would do a better job at sort of like summarizing what the deal is with this film. Do you want to give that a shot?
Yeah, sure. So the basic plot of this movie is it is a sort of crime thriller where there are a series of murders occurring where somebody's being murdered, and then after they are murdered, post mortis, a big X from their neck to their chest is being carved into them, and the person that is committing the murder stays at the scene and admits to committing the murder.
And there's a very noticeable behavioral change from the person that commits the murder before and during and after.
Yeah, and they have basically zero motivation for the murder. Mm-hmm. Like I said, they admit to it. Usually afterwards they show some remorse. There's one example where a man kills his wife, and then he sort of snaps afterwards because he recognizes that he killed his wife, and he didn't realize in the moment that he did. But and then they all had interactions with a strange man who claims that he has no memory. He doesn't know who he is. And they usually had some kind of interaction with him before they committed the crime.
Mm-hmm.
And so the movie sort of follows the investigations of the one detective, the psychiatrist that is working with the police and the detective specifically, and their interactions with this amnesiac man as they're investigating the crimes. I feel like that's basically
and I feel like this was something that was probably up your alley. Am I wrong about that?
Oh, this was very much my shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it blends the psychological with the there's a lot of like mysticism. It felt a lot like a Fincher movie, even though
yes,
this is like contemporary to his early work.
Yes.
Because like what, Seven was probably came out like around the same time.
Let me see for sure.
So
yeah, 2 years earlier. 2 years earlier.
Yeah, so like this is basically contemporary to, that was his first movie, right?
I don't know actually if it was his very first one, but it was definitely this is early career Fincher.
Yeah. So yeah, contemporary to early Fincher. Very much felt like that. Like if they turned the color grading like slightly darker, like, you know, it would basically be a Fincher movie. But other than that, yeah, very much my shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was into it the whole way. Yeah, I thought it was phenomenal.
Yeah. I love this too. I thought there was something really special about it because it's a type of story, like just when you take the plot elements and you know what it's doing, what it's talking about, like you've seen it before, you know, but the way it tells the story was so effective because it basically, it doesn't include like a soundtrack at all.
Yeah.
There really is no. So I don't know if I'll word this right. It feels like there's no tone, at least in terms of like the film trying to project a tone onto like the characters and the story and things that are happening. It's more just like you're in the room with these characters when the stuff is going on. It's like a very objectively observed movie. And it's sort of letting what's happening take center stage without any influence.
Yeah, it wants you to draw your own conclusions about everything that's happening.
Yes.
It wants you to formulate how you feel about each character and each event that happens. Like, it doesn't want to give any sort of bias towards anything that happens. And that's the sound design too, is like it doesn't even want to tip its hand towards like any, like it just lets things happen, and then you have to react to it in your own way.
Exactly.
Like the final shot, I had to rewind it. I had to watch it again. Because I wasn't even sure I caught something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so I had to go back.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, that final shot is amazing. I was following the person of interest in that shot, and I knew what was coming, but that didn't change like how effective it was.
Yeah.
Because you are just watching, like the final shot takes place in a diner. And you're just watching like these people go about their lives. And there's one person in particular that is moving towards something and everything seems mundane, but it's not. Because there's a major like moment at the very end that sort of wraps everything together.
Yeah.
I thought this was like brilliant, just the way it did that. Like the character who is seen throughout, the one who interacts with the killers before they commit the crime. When he's interrogated by pretty much everybody he meets, especially the detective who's on the case, and like just the frustration that you experience like watching this happen, like when he's in the interrogation room and he's like giving the detective nothing, but he's also sort of like trying to get under his skin, and it's clear that there's something like nefarious going on with the character. It's just like you're experiencing the same frustration as a detective in that moment. Because the film puts you right there without anything in between. It's just, you're experiencing the same thing that the detective is. And that's like also part of the whole arc of the film. Like it starts out as detective doing sort of like I don't want to say a typical serial killing, but that's kind of what it is. Like he's investigating as a detective would, but slowly things unravel for him, like psychologically. And you're kind of like right there with him as, frustration builds and he starts to like lose his grip on reality, and he starts seeing things, and it's just like this slow unraveling that's really, really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. The way that like you could formulate your own opinion early on about characters, and then you still have to like see it unfold, and then what you maybe thought were like your preconceived ideas could change. Because it's kind of maybe not a spoiler, but like I was already thinking of the idea of hypnotism, and then there's a scene where the detective then just like outright states, like he asks the psychiatrist, he's like, hey, what about hypnotism? Just like very bluntly like that. And I was like, oh shit, okay, cool. And then they sort of just like talk about it openly from there, and like this very grounded, realistic way. It was so good. I really love this a lot.
And with hypnotism being such a big thing, I felt like a lot of the scenes themselves were very like mesmerizing and hypnotic. By design, which is really cool.
Yeah, like the way the amnesiac dude talks, like he's manipulative, but like the way that he like repeats things, even whenever he's asking like, who am I, where is this, like that scene on the beach with like the waves just crashing over and over, and he's like asking the same thing, where is this, is this, And
I don't know if you felt the same, but I was very frustrated watching him for a good portion of it.
Oh, completely. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the point. Like it's intended to be that way. And I thought that was so effective.
Yeah, because like I thought fairly early on that he was full of shit. But then like at the end it's like I don't know. Because he might have lost his memories, but he still had like this ability, there's like so much to digest, like when it came to those characters.
It's like the longer someone would talk to him, the amnesiac, it's like the more you question. Especially there's an extended sequence where he's like in the prison cell and the detective comes down and talks to him. That one especially was really great, because it's like the guy like turns things back around on the detective, and you're sort of like mixed up and you really don't know what to think. That back and forth where like the tides turn like 3 times between them.
like that goes up there with like any kind of, you know, detective subject standoff, like Hannibal Lecter, or like, you know, any of those classic sort of confrontations. This is up there with them. Like, that was just incredible.
Yep.
Where you think the detective has him cornered, and then he just like flips it.
Yep, just as quickly as you flip open a lighter. Right.
Yeah, just really, really stunning stuff.
So, what do we think? Should I announce next week's, or did you have anything more to say on this one? It's one of those. Well, yeah, go ahead.
I don't know what else I have to say. I just thought it was amazing. I really, yeah, this was incredible. It was so much my shit. Especially whenever you start talking about like weird ass esoteric turn of the century psychologists that were dabbling in alchemy, you know, like
yeah, no, as soon as I saw a Young reference, yeah, he's into this.
Oh yeah, of course, because like, you know how like basic psychology, we always reference Freud. For Japanese, they just go to Jung. Like that's like their baseline is Jung.
Yeah.
And so they show the Jung textbooks, and then like in the next scene there are like shadows growing from corners, like in the jail cell, and you know, like in the house or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's do this shit. So yeah, I love that shit. It was so good. So yeah,
this is a director I need to see more of. I think I mentioned last week I've seen a couple of his non-horror films, some of his more recent ones, and just really fascinating the way that he'll make like a character drama, and yet the way like certain scenes like play out and like the framing of them, it almost feels like the characters are in a horror movie even when they're not. Like I think one of his most famous ones, Tokyo Sonata, is like a masterpiece. That's an incredible drama that I would definitely recommend.
Yeah, and like I could see the foundation of like how this would reference, or how this would inspire things like even like Death Note, and I'm slowly watching an anime right now called Monster, and it is a serial killer anime from 2004, and its basic structure, its basic story is that there's this world-class surgeon, this Japanese surgeon that goes to work in Germany, and he saves the life of a little boy after an attack at the boy's adopted parents' house, where the whole family was attacked. The parents were shot dead. The boy has a bullet in his brain. And the sister was like the only one that came out unscathed. So he saves the boy's life. He takes the bullet out of his brain because he's a neurosurgeon. And the boy becomes a serial killer. And it turns out that the boy was the one that killed the parents. And it has such a slow burn, which is why I'm getting through it. It kind of almost moves too slowly for me. But like after watching this, I can see the immediate influence.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Good timing then.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is for sure a slow burn, but a worthy one.
Well, yeah, but no, Monster definitely has a slower burn. It's 74 episodes.
Whoa, okay.
So, yeah.
How many seasons is that?
Maybe like 3 or 4. I'm not sure. Yeah, it takes a while to get going. And I'm still in the early going. I kind of wish it would pick up the pace. But yeah, like there's even a like in episode 3 there's like a 9-year time skip because it takes place in the first part is 80s Germany, and then it's in the 90s Germany, so it's like before the fall of the Berlin Wall and then like in the immediate aftermath of the fall of the Berlin Wall. But even with that time skip, it's still very, very deliberate and very slow. Yeah. The only weird thing about it was that like there's a 9-year time skip, but then characters meet and then they meet again, and then it's like it's only like a few days happened, like a few days passed. And then he's like, "Hey, you remember me?" He's like, "Oh yeah, from that investigation 9 years ago." I was like, "What the fuck?" Like. It's like nothing changed, like, but yeah, it's very interesting to see the influence.
Nice.
So yeah, for next week.
Yeah. So for next week, so Cure is actually one of Bong Joon-ho's favorite movies.
I did see that afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah. So we might as well watch a Bong Joon-ho film next week. So we're gonna go with The Host from 2006. Looks like sort of an action horror monster movie of sorts.
So he's had a movie called Host and then one called Parasite.
Yes, that's true. That's true. And this is not to be confused with the movie titled Host that came out, the pandemic film from last year, which is also very good, but this is from 2006. So yeah, The Host, Bong Joon-ho. That's next week's Horror Harvest.
Okay,
I said it correctly that time.
There you go. All right. While we are in the horror realm, do you know about Demi Lovato's ghost hunting adventures?
I've heard this was announced recently.
Okay.
No, it's not out yet, right?
I believe it is.
Oh.
But it's on Peacock, which is
okay.
Are you familiar with Peacock?
Yeah, I mean, we can kind of get into the are you gonna like do you have like the trailer or something that you want to?
I got a little clip here.
Okay, cool.
Okay, let's.
Oh, I get that a lot. Okay. She has trauma.
She does?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do you know?
And that's why she doesn't like men.
Okay. I respect that.
Yeah.
Totally. We're gonna stay over here and let you have a conversation with Demi.
I have trauma too. So I feel you, and I get it. Do you like to sing, Carmen?
Oh. You should sing something for her, Demi.
No.
Why not? Maybe
So-
if you sing a song as an offering, we could come back
So
in the
she's
room.
like trying.
yeah.
Or, I'm sorry. She's. She. I'm gonna screw that up. Demi Lovato uses they them. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
They are trying to do like counseling to the ghosts.
Yeah, so that's what it sounds like. This is the first clip I've seen from this show, and let me tell you, I am 1000% on board for this. Because like I was gonna say about Peacock, right?
Yeah.
Is the fact that it's been around for about a year now, and it doesn't
really,
believe it or not. Yes. I think so, because it was supposed to launch originally. The whole launch plan was it would coincide with the 2020 Summer Olympics, and that would sort of like boost it, you know.
Sure.
But that didn't quite work out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like it's been around for a bit, and there are definitely good originals, but there's not the one show. There are. But there's not the one show that's like captured like the zeitgeist. It's like there's not a show that's been like this. I need to subscribe for this, right? They don't have the hit show yet.
And do you think it's the Demi Lovato ghost show?
Maybe just for me personally.
Okay.
No, this sounds great. I mean, I'm someone who, like, as a teenager, I would watch those ghost hunting shows.
Yeah.
They even had one on, like, for a few years, they had one on Halloween night that was like a live ghost hunting show. It was like a 12-hour ghost hunt.
Uh-huh.
And they would have the TV broadcast, and they would also, if you went to their website, they would have like different cameras set up throughout the house, and you could just kind of like follow along and watch.
So it was the Big Brother live feed
of ghost hunting,
but for ghosts.
Yeah, and I was like all over that, even though nothing interesting ever happened. It just amounted to the people being like, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what was that? Did you hear that? That was really all it turned out to be, but still, it was fun.
And so there was also a trending Twitter topic.
Okay.
And it read, in a recent interview with Pedestrian TV about their upcoming series exploring UFO phenomena, Demi Lovato spoke about extraterrestrial life and said, "I think that we have to stop calling them aliens, because aliens is a derogatory term for anything."
I mean, yeah, like, I see where she's coming from, because, like, no, but what she's saying, I think, is that it's alien has been used in a derogatory way for a long time now, right? So it's kind of like it's almost been like reappropriated.
No. It's derogatory when you refer to people that way, yeah.
Well, that's what I mean.
But not when you refer to
extraterrestrials. Okay. But I think she's saying that there's like an association, maybe, that people make.
I think Alf is an alien. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna be put on a record.
That's an interesting stance.
E.T. is an alien.
Okay.
So does this mean that you're gonna subscribe to Peacock?
You're saying the show's out already?
I believe so. I guess that's where people are getting the clips.
I might have to, because like I do enjoy a good ghost hunting, and I do think Demi Lovato is a good personality. Like they're a good personality to host a show, right? And so when you have, like, it doesn't matter what they're hosting, so it's like, yeah, why not have Demi Lovato host a ghost hunting show? Makes all the sense in the world. It's like Selena Gomez hosting a cooking show on HBO.
Is she doing that?
Yeah, there's been like multiple seasons of it already.
Oh, okay. You could have just made that up on the spot. I would have no idea.
No, it's called Selena and Chef. Who's the chef? It varies by episode. I guess, like, I think she brings on a professional chef, and they cook stuff.
It's the chef from South Park.
I mean, yeah, I see where your mind is, but
because they just named them, he was the chef.
Oh, okay, God. Well, I mean, it is on HBO, and they have all the South Parks. So they would have the rights to it.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't know who the demographic would be there.
I don't know
who's tuning into that.
Who's tuning in to watch Selena Gomez?
Oh my! Do you see her follower count on Instagram?
No,
the entire world.
I didn't even know she was still active.
Let me look at the current number. Let me look that up.
I can't remember the last time anybody mentioned Selena Gomez.
Well, then you also think that she has 268 million followers on Instagram alone.
Okay.
But you're also somebody who thinks that TikTok is full of bots. So
I don't think it's full of bots. I think that the Chinese company that owns TikTok is artificially inflating the numbers.
Yeah. So now we see like where your head's at. So why did you bring up this Demi Lovato show? Like, what are you interested in it?
No, I think it's funny as shit.
Okay.
That she's just standing in the middle of the room asking if the ghost has trauma.
Yeah, ghost therapy. Like, I've never seen ghost therapy conducted on any of those older ghost hunting shows. I think that's a really cool angle.
Yeah. And then her friend asks if she wants to, or I'm sorry, if they want to sing.
To sing, yeah.
God.
Yeah, I was thinking about subscribing to Peacock for that Christian Slater show, where he like, I forget the name of it, but he plays like the surgeon who kills people. That looked pretty interesting. And then they have like stuff like Girls 5 Ever is supposed to be really good.
Don't tell me that's a girl sequel.
No.
Okay.
No, there's no Lead and Dunham involved in this one.
Yeah,
but yeah, I might be checking this out. Honestly, I think it would make for a good candidate for us to cover an episode or two of this.
Yeah, I considered it, but then I would have to subscribe to Peacock.
True.
Or steal the Demi Lovato ghost show and have it on one of my hard drives.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Like
I mean, I'll leave it up to
Sexy
you.
Beasts, it's a, it's something I already have access to.
Yeah. I mean, this could be like our finale of Horror Harvest.
Yeah, that's how we're gonna cap it off. Yeah. Maybe.
We'll see.
After getting somebody's
Speaking of Netflix, maybe?
Yeah, after getting somebody's pronouns wrong a bunch, do we want to move into Dave Chapelle?
I mean, that's an unfortunate transition there. Segue.
Yeah.
That was not intentionally. Oh, Christ. You know what? I think we're going to cut that.
Yeah? Yeah? You want to...
Well, because I said that's an unfortunate transition, and then I'm like,
Oh. That's also an unfortunate segue.
But that's not making it on the show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
where were we about? We were about to change subjects, right?
Yeah.
Change topics. Speaking of Netflix.
Yeah.
Do we want to get into the Dave Chappelle, Ted Sarandos thing a little bit?
Yeah, just a little bit, because it's
Just a little bit.
It's just a fucking bummer.
It is. It's a bummer that I spent my Tuesday night this week sitting through.
Yeah, nobody made you do that. I didn't.
No, that was all on my own. That was my own decision. Because I was the one that put it in the show notes to talk about this week, and I'd seen the relevant clips from the special. But I'm like, okay, if I'm going to go on a podcast and talk about it, maybe I should see the whole thing.
I don't know why you were giving Dave Chappelle a good faith approach.
No, it wasn't even that I was giving him a good faith approach, because as history has shown with him, he's deeply transphobic, and there's really no arguing that. I just kind of wanted the full context, even though it turns out we didn't really need any more context.
Yeah.
So in case you didn't know, the latest Dave Chappelle special, and fortunately, I learned this is the final Dave Chappelle special for the foreseeable future.
Sure.
It's called The Closer. And he received some swift backlash from this after it came out because of his transphobic commentary. I would say jokes, but that's being a little bit generous. A lot of this is just like hate that's like thinly disguised as jokes.
Yeah, isn't the closer like the joke like supposed to be your best shit? Like your best material?
You would think.
And this is what he kind of goes up on stage and just shits out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I am kind of glad I watched it because he does like to argue that the people that dislike him, particularly in the trans community, the reason they dislike him is because they haven't actually seen his comedy and that they just like regurgitate the same talking points that people have been making for years and that they just don't understand what he's actually saying.
He's making attack helicopter jokes.
Mm-hmm.
So like...
Right, no, I mean, and that's to say, like, that's total bullshit because...
He's making the same fucking jokes that every, right-wing hack is making.
Yeah.
This is not new, fresh trans material. This is...
right.
He's repeating the same... We want to talk about repeating the same talking points. This is the same shit.
Yeah,
the same shit that's used to attack trans people.
Right. Yeah, so he makes a bunch of transphobic jokes throughout the special. He does a lot of misgendering. He repeatedly dismisses the importance of pronouns, even like the validity of pronouns, which is hilarious because he has no problem using he and she. He refers to himself as a TERF. He's Team TERF. He says multiple times throughout the special that he is a transphobe. And his ultimate point, like at the end of the special, like one of his main points that he's trying to make is that he wants trans people to laugh along at the jokes that he is making at their expense. Like he wants to make this harmful commentary and not look at or care about the consequences that his words might have and do have, so, I mean, he does a lot. It's a lot of like, yeah.
Then maybe they should have been funny.
Well, there's that.
If he wanted people to laugh, maybe they should have been funny first.
Yeah.
How about that?
True.
How about that?
Yeah, like not only was this unfunny, it was just deeply uncomfortable and gross. Like I felt gross after watching it. Like he's making a lot of like false equivalences to support his points in this like throughout. Like he's at one point he basically equates being trans to being white, as if trans is a white thing. Part of one of his jokes, he's saying that like he was just getting to the point where he can make fun of white men, and then the white man decided to become a woman. Like that's the type of shit that he's dishing out here.
Meanwhile, trans people of color are the most
they're the most likely to experience hate and violence and are like the most at risk by stuff like this, which is something that he doesn't know or completely ignores, just doesn't care about. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's just the most ignorant shit you can come up with.
Completely. I did, instead of myself rambling on, there was one TikTok I wanted to show. Somebody made a good point. This is, let me send this to you. It is, oh no, wait, that's the Smash Mouth TikTok, which we will get to, hopefully. So this is from @Butterfly Astrophysics on TikTok. I thought it summarized a good point.
Someday I'll stop being surprised when celebrities cash in on transphobia for a lazy joke, but I'm not there yet. I'm not here to convince you that Dave Chappelle's jokes were transphobic. They were, he knows it, that was the point. The point that I'm stuck on, and it was just a few lines of the special, was when Mr. Chapelle requested empathy from trans people for transphobes. Now, I doubt that Mr. Chapelle will ever see this through the flurry of media coverage he's currently getting, so this video is addressed to anyone who thinks like that. Empathy means seeing things from the other person's point of view. I promise you, every single trans person, especially trans women, knows what it means to see transness as a joke. That's what society teaches us. That's the default state that we all had to unlearn. To paraphrase Hannah Gadsby, when the marginalized self-deprecate or laugh at deprecation, it's not humility, it's humiliation. And I will not be humiliated for your benefit anymore.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, Chappelle's been doing this for decades. And CEO of Netflix, Ted Sarandos, doesn't see a problem with it. Because he's come out and defended Chappelle a couple of times this week. He's even said that the content in the special doesn't directly lead to real world harm.
That's the funniest thing.
It is, and that's his main.
I've heard out of this whole thing.
Yeah. It's his main argument for keeping it on the platform and the reason it should be on there. Well, no, the main reason is that it brings in money, right?
Yeah.
But but the idea that it doesn't lead to real world harm is a joke because it's part of a culture that we live in that perpetuates hate and violence against trans people. I mean, you could argue that there's a crisis that's happening and it's been happening for a long time. So yeah, there's a Netflix employee, Tara Field, who is trans, and I pulled a quote from earlier this week, like in response to all this, who said, what we object to is the harm that content like this does to the trans community, especially trans people of color, and very specifically Black trans women. People who look like me aren't being killed. I'm a white woman. And then queer author and attorney Preston Mitchum also said, make no mistake, Chappelle's alleged jokes do not impact hypothetical people. They, in fact, cause real harm to transgender and non-binary viewers and Black LGBTQ youth who may have once looked up to him as a role model. So, yeah, there's a lot of ways that this stuff is harmful. And for somebody like Ted Sarandos to think that he's an authority on the matter which is hilarious. And to completely dismiss his own employees and people who are experts and people who have experienced these things, to just toss that all aside is really upsetting.
Yeah.
So
I do want to bring up another point, which is that, and this goes back into what I didn't catch the username, but the TikTok that we just played.
At Butterfly Astrophysics.
Yes, thank you. Chappelle stopped doing the Chappelle show, and this is like a famous anecdote that he tells, is that, or used to tell at least, he stopped doing the show whenever he realized that white people were not laughing with him, they were laughing at him.
Mm-hmm.
And yet now he just suddenly forgets that, whether that's due to his many, many millions of dollars or whatever, but he can now not see another marginalized group at all. He's so far removed from that being perceived that way anymore that he feels just this free reign to completely attack another group.
You know, it's interesting because one of the very first lines he comes out with during the special is because this happens, you know, during like not in the thick of COVID, but after a significant time in COVID times.
Yeah.
Is when this was filmed. He says, I'm rich and famous. I hope all you out there are coping okay with the pandemic, and I hope you're doing okay. So it's like there is disconnects between
completely
himself and just like society at large, it seems.
In fact, I got this clip from the special.
Okay.
Kevin Hart dreamt his entire life of hosting the Oscars, and when he finally got the job, they just took it. It's not fair. Kevin.
It's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fair.
Yeah, that was one of the more benign pieces of commentary.
They took it away from the richest comedian in the world. It's not fair.
And what was it that Kevin Hart said that caused him to lose the Oscar hosting? I forget.
I don't even remember.
Wasn't it homophobic?
Yeah, I think so.
There you go.
But it's not fair.
Yeah, so that's not.
And they offered to give it to him back, and he declined.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even true.
No, but it makes sense that homophobia would not be, in Dave Chappelle's eyes, important enough to warrant that sort of consequence.
But it's not fair that they took something away from the witch man.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Yes. I do not like this.
That's the way he said it.
I just don't like this.
He's crying like a little baby.
No, totally.
It's so gross.
It's very gross.
This is the perspective that he has.
Yeah.
This is the actual privileged perspective.
Yeah, because his whole thing is like, I want to be able to make jokes at all of these different communities, and those communities need to accept it, and they need to laugh at my jokes and not get mad at me.
Yeah.
So it's like
they should look at it from my perspective.
Exactly. But even though I'm not considering yours at all.
They physically cannot. Mm-hmm. They materially cannot. I can't speak because trans people are marginalized, and they are usually at the lowest income brackets, so they materially cannot. These are worlds apart, and you're asking them to try to experience it as a rich cis man. Like it is so busted.
Yeah.
That
there's so much dissonance throughout this whole special, which is just one of the many reasons why I found it such a frustrating watch. And not to like give too much time to this, because really, what Chappelle has to say here is not. It's only important in the harm that it's causing. It's not what he's actually saying is really not worth like considering. But he closes out his closer with this story of his friend Daphne, who was a trans woman, and I say was because she committed suicide, and it's such a strange story, and trying to understand his takeaway of it, because he's talking about how Daphne was at his comedy shows and she would laugh at all the trans jokes that he made, right? And they became friends, and she was a comedian herself, who was striving to become a stand-up. And like they developed a friendship, and honestly, like going through my head, this felt like he was doing like one of my best friends is trans, like that type of thing. But this story goes to where like he was receiving backlash from trans jokes like in the early 2000s, I think. Sure. Or it might have been actually during the Twitter era, so maybe it was a bit later than that. But this is a number of years ago. And so his friend, Daphne, his friend, defended him publicly, right? And then received a bunch of hate because she defended Chappelle. And then Daphne, shortly after that, committed suicide. And Chapelle is like, well, you know, it might not have been because of the hate comments that she received, but that certainly didn't help. And it's like, what is the takeaway here? Like, I just don't understand where he's going with this.
Okay.
Because he has a trans friend who committed suicide, and somehow his takeaway is like, you all shouldn't be angry at my hateful jokes. Like, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
He doesn't make the connection. That
he doesn't make the connection.
He actually knew someone that was trans that committed suicide, and then he doesn't understand the extremely high suicide rate in trans people.
Yeah, like
when he actually knew somebody that is a tragic part of that statistic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like, there's so much dissonance here, and I just it was strange trying to like figure out ultimately what he's trying to say, other than just, you know, trying to roll out the same hateful comedy that he's been making for a long time and get away with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't watch it. Don't do what I did. Definitely watch Hannah Gadsby, who the TikToker we watched mentioned Hannah Gadsby. Nanette, her special Nanette on Netflix is to this day the most profound comedy special that I've ever seen. Very good use of your time. Definitely much better use than watching Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, there's nothing to be gained by watching it.
No, there isn't.
And he's not going to have any consequences for it.
No. There were consequences for trans employees at Netflix who were suspended.
Right, because that's how it works.
That's how it works. And as of the time of recording, there is a planned walkout from employees at Netflix, which is nice to see.
Good. That's all that you can do is like class action. You can't rely on the corporation to do you any favors.
No. All you have to do is look at the staff email that Sarando sent out, and you'll see where his priorities lie.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, we should probably move on from that. That was probably more time than you wanted to spend on that.
Yeah. Well, when you get going, you get going. It's a Smash Mouth.
Yeah. There's no easy transition there. No easy segue there. Smash Mouth.
Smash Mouth.
Yeah. Interesting developments this week. Last weekend, it was on TikTok where I first saw footage of the now infamous Smash Mouth New York performance that took place. So where did you first hear about this? Because I feel like this TikTok user might have broken the story here. Can I have you play this one?
I didn't see anything about this until the story about him leaving the band.
Okay.
Came out.
So yeah, this is at Does This Feel Good is the username here, and this is a TikTok that she made over the weekend.
Okay, I know the ethics of this aren't great, but I did just see Smash Mouth perform live at a local beer and wine festival. When I say this is the most chaotic show I've ever seen in my entire life, I have no words.
At no point was the sound balanced. Unintelligible speech.
So yeah, like that TikTok is better if you're watching it because there's a lot of like so much of it is unintelligible and so there's captions, but
yeah.
You did hear the "I'll kill your whole family" part.
I'll kill your whole family. I swear to God. And then we're going to Greece.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad because, well, he says that he is leaving the band due to like long-term mental health issues.
No, it is sad. Like because he's clearly going through some shit.
Yeah.
But
yes. There's a quote here. Steve has been dealing with long-term medical issues over the last 8 years, and during his last performance at the Big Sip stage, he suffered numerous symptoms directly linked with his current medical situation, according to their PR representative.
So it is kind of
Smash Mouth to focus on his physical and mental health.
So like it is the impulse is kind of to find the humor in it, but also it is somebody who's going through it. So
yeah, but also I think he was blasted out of his mind.
Yeah, he was under the influence for sure.
Yeah.
But what I loved, my favorite part, is the fact that I really think this story blew up, and that was maybe the main source of it. This TikToker. And so she posted a follow-up after the story broke that he was retiring. So I'll have you play the follow-up here. This is the same user that does this feel good.
Oh my God. This is not what I wanted. This is not what I wanted. I mean, I'm the person who was at the Smash Mouth concert because I love Smash Mouth. Even though I know how problematic they are, they literally gave 250,000 people COVID. Google it. But this, I never wanted it to come to this. Oh. That's it. No more Smash Mouth content from me. I know that 10,000 people follow me because I am now the Smash Mouth whistleblower. Okay, but I'm just going to go back to editing videos of salamanders. Okay, here is a list of some of my other niches, okay? I think I'm a pretty interesting person on my own. And now if you'll excuse me, I have to go finish up packing all of my belongings so that on Monday I can move to Paris with my brand new smoking hot husband. Now doesn't that sound like amazing content? Follow me or not, I'm gonna go put on Astro Lounge and cry.
It's good that she has a lot going on outside of Smash Mouth. That's encouraging.
Smash Mouth gave 250,000 people COVID?
I feel like this might warrant a Dead Wrong segment next week.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. That's an awful lot.
That is a lot of people.
Yeah. I don't know. I might have to look into that.
It.
She did say to Google it. So your mileage might vary there, but
because that is 250,000 people. I feel like that would have been a bigger story, and I think that would be more than Smash Mouth being problematic. I have to say, if they gave 250,000 people COVID.
I mean, maybe indirectly, maybe they had like a breakout at one of their shows, and then those people went on to spread it.
Okay, but unless
that's
unless we had proper contact tracing, I don't know if we could.
Yeah, that's more of an America problem than anything else.
Yeah. Oh man, Smash Mouth Steve gave me COVID.
But honestly, this does feel like the end of an era.
Sure.
You know, I wish all the best to Steve in his recovery. He's given a lot of people some really great memes over the years.
Mm-hmm.
I think All Star is a legitimately great song. You know, I'll say it.
I mean, it's been a meme for 20 years, you know?
You can't argue against that. Like,
yeah,
it's stood the test of time.
Mm-hmm.
And time has certainly tested it for sure.
Walking on the Sun is underrated, I will say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Sally Rooney. This is going to be the episode with the worst segues. So Israel.
Oh, God. Hey now, Sally Rooney. Sally Rooney is an all-star.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so Sally Rooney, I think this NBC News article gives her a great introduction.
Oh, cool.
millennial
Marxist author?
literary sensation Sally Rooney.
No, I've heard that a lot.
Yeah,
They're definitely not the first to jump on that description.
yeah. I
She's
feel like
like
that is really reductive.
Well, she's sort of gotten the she's received like the voice of the generation narrative.
Okay,
You know,
sure.
which could do a lot worse.
Yeah,
But also,
but it just
I
seems-
mean, it's silly because she's doing very specific things with her writing, and to say that she's a voice of an entire like it's silly.
Mhm.
Very good author, just like I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah. So she made news this week. First of all, she's the author of Normal People, and she just released a new book.
Beautiful World, Where Are You?
Yes, thank you.
And also, her first one is Conversations with Friends, which is being turned into a TV series, probably out next year, from the same people who did the excellent Normal People adaptation.
Mm-hmm. So she made some really probably unfair headlines because she decided not to sell a Hebrew translation of Beautiful World to an Israel publishing house because of the boycott, divestments, and sanctions movement. And so her reasoning is being that she didn't want to accept a contract with an Israeli company that, quote, did not publicly distance itself from apartheid and support the UN stipulated rights of the Palestinian people. And so a bunch of Israeli and, Israel favoring sources wrote headlines saying that she was boycotting the Hebrew language, basically, which
God.
is not what she said or is doing whatsoever.
That's like I don't know, just like if you're boycotting a bar because the owner is problematic, right?
Yeah.
And that's like somebody trying to say, well, you're boycotting alcohol.
Right.
Right? Like it's so stupid.
Yeah. So she was being called an anti-Semite and blah 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 blah, and it spiraled from there. Meanwhile, all she is doing is not working for the moment with this specific Israeli publisher, and this was the publisher that previously translated her other books into Hebrew. So that's why she didn't contract with them again. And like she said, she's not going to work with a company that does not work with the UN stipulated rights of the Palestinian people.
Right.
So yeah, this became a whole thing. And I want to get her other quote because she came up with another statement. Okay, so she noted that the Human Rights Watch said this year that Israel was guilty of the international crimes of apartheid and persecution because of discriminatory policies towards Palestinians within its borders and occupied territories. That report, she said, came on the heels of a similarly damning publication by the leading Israeli human rights group, B'Tselem, which for the first time labeled Israel an apartheid regime. And this, she had to, the Israeli publisher, Modan, told the paper that she wouldn't allow her book to be published in Hebrew because she supports an Israel boycott, which is not the case. Yeah, she said that she is proud to have her previous two novels, Conversations with Friends and Normal People, translated into Hebrew, and said it would be an honor to have her latest book, Beautiful World, Where Are You?, made available to Hebrew languages readers as well. Yeah, if I can find a way to sell these rights that is compliant with the BDS movement's institutional boycott guidelines, I'll be very pleased and proud to do so. In the meantime, I would like to express once again my solidarity with the Palestinian people and the right to struggle for freedom, justice, and equality. So,
yeah, it's great.
yeah, I think she's made her position quite clear, and it's been consistent. She signed the open letter in May.
Yeah, I mean, it's a relatively small thing in the grand scheme of things, but it's what she has the power to do, and that's great.
Yeah.
Happy to see it.
Yeah, this shit blew up, and calling her an anti-Semite, like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, just, gotta know the full context. You gotta, there's a lot of misinformation out there.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, all right. So then that's going to do it for us. Thank you very much for listening. We really appreciate it. As always, you can follow me everywhere and on Twitter at DeadEndRoad, Facebook.com/DeadEndRoadTV. Check out the Twitch, twitch.tv/DeadEndRoadTV. And in these last couple weeks before Halloween, I'm going to kick up some streams because I have too many horror games and I'd like to play them. So yeah, be on the lookout for those. Check out the Twitch for that. And then check out the archives. Do a YouTube search for Dead End Road TV and you will find them there. Check out the Fred's First Adventure book and plush bundles over at publishing.deadendroad.co. We got some good bundles going on there. Oh yeah, and the email, send us literally anything, video@deadendroad.co. Yeah, that should do it.
I think I made a joke a couple weeks ago where I was like, if you send us something, there's 100% chance we'll include it on the show.
Yeah.
I should probably specify only if you mention that you're okay with that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. So send anything, and if you want to be on the show, that's great. But if not, that's fine too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just felt like I should clarify.
If you just like to say hello, your show sucks, then.
Oh yeah.
You could do that too, and it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be on the show.
Totally.
But yeah. All right, that's gonna do it for us. We will see you next week. Thank you for listening.